know that back in the early 2020, two shows called called the Magitunes and the Spikey Show. The Spikey Show came in 2021, while the Magitunes came in 2020. At first, these two were two peas in a pod, great friends. But now, in mid 2022, they're both bitter rivals. But how did this come this way? How did these two iconic cartoon characters, well, somewhat iconic, there's probably a lot more iconic characters, became such hated rivals? This is the story of how Spikey and Chicko became enemies. A broken friendship for our characters, but a great friendship for the creators. Oh, before we start this video, I have an announcement. Imagination's back, baby! I decided to cancel my freaking hiatus. I couldn't take it anymore. I miss making Imagination's content. I tried to refrain myself, but I just can't take it anymore. So that means, yes, the new episode of Imaginations will be coming out very soon. Probably today, but I'm not sure. But now, let's get into the story. We're going to start with what happened before. So we're going to call this Chapter 1, the beginning. So, I can't really talk about Chicko's history before, but I can't really talk about Chicko's history, so I gotta start with Spikey's. Spikey was a cartoon made in 2021, made by Kyle. I forgot his last name. The show was very successful with younger audiences, with appealing to little kids. It had, even though the show was really good, it did have one singling flaw. It relied on crossovers. I'm not saying that crossovers aren't bad. Crossovers are pretty awesome, but the show relied on it too much, to the point that it's not even funny. In their time, a young pizza pretzel was unaware of the show's existence. But once December hit, of course the show was going on pretty nicely. But once December hit, I have started a new YouTube channel, Pizza Pretzel, the one you're watching this video on. It was unlike JTTV, Marshmallow Productions. It was a lot more. The show was a lot more. We had actual shows. It actually felt like a TV channel at one point, kind of. And then in 2020, the first day of 2020, January 1st, Magitunes was born. The show wasn't really that new. It wasn't that hip. Originally, the show was gonna have a very small cast, consisting of only 4 people. Croctopus, Chicko, Goopy, and Bomb Jester. Originally, some other characters were supposed to be in the show too, like Jake in the Box, Rocket, which was originally going to be a video game character, but we'll get to that, and well, that's kind of it. So, but later on the line, new characters were made. In episode 2, season 1, we had new characters. That being of Blazer, TV Face, and and Snow Zone. Of course, season 2 was a lot better of season 1, as season 1 had crappy animation, but it was somewhat memorable. But episode 2 being my personal favorite because, well, come on. This was before Chico was an absolute maniac. But once episode 3, season 1 came, something came. A good friend of mine called Mia wanted to put her own character in the show. So she created an OC called Secretariana. Of course, I could have done the rich snobby person act and just ignore her OC. But not. This was my best friend. So I put her OC into the show. It was of course, episode 3 being the more good ones. It had a great cast of characters, and this is where we got to finish Croctopus' struggling love life. And then in episode 8 or 7, I'm not sure, of the Spikey Show season 1, Chicko made an appearance as a new character. And then Spikey's 10,000th celebration, he was also in the video. And also in episode 9, I believe, he was also in the Spikey Show. Of course, he slowly left the Spikey Show after realizing that, maybe a show that was made for older audiences shouldn't be a show for little old children. Nonetheless, Spikey still was a fan of the show. New characters were created and new adventures were made. But that does not mean that the characters. But that does not mean that their friend. People thought that the friendship of Spikey and Chicko would probably never end. That it would be a never-ending field. That every day was a new adventure. But we're going. If you see the zigzag, that means we're in the territory where Spikey and Chicko's relationship as the characters, not the actual creators. Yes, and plus my name's Josiah. My avatar's name is Josiah. I'm Josiah, so yeah. The creators of slowly but surely, jokes and parodies were made at Spikey Tunes, when in reality they were all jokes and parodies to make fun of the show, like most fans do. Of course, since you're technically a good one, you cannot be seen as a jokester. You are seen as a threat. So honestly, Spikey slowly realized thinking that I was making fun of Imagitunes. If I was making fun of the Spikey Show, especially Spikey himself. And when I made a replacement for the Spikey rap, with Chicko taking the place of Sonic, Spikey didn't really like that. So he kind of, in his words, fixed it to make it more correct, putting Spikey in the place of Sonic and putting Chicko in the place of Mario, which didn't make that didn't make sense at all. Like, not even one small sliver of sense. I don't know why. Match Tunes came second, boy. Honestly, it was weird, but honestly, it was honestly a weird year. Of course, everything came out normal. Jokes and parodies were made until a Sonic and Chicko at the Olympic Games, which was supposed to be joke art, slowly got. And later on, it was until. We're gonna call this era the frickin' enemies era. And things have changed drastically. Nothing was the same at this point. Chicko and Spikey lost their friendship once a little drawing made by Spikey was created, which made them swap places. Of course, I didn't like that because, well, you know, it's my character. It's my show. Why would I want to see that happen? Of course, then this led to a bunch of weird stuff. To a bitter rivalry. Two shows were pitted against each other. The infamous Spikey Tunes and the more or less unmemorable Imagitunes. The two are neck and neck. Of course, sadly, the rivalry was a pretty messed up one. Later on the line, Spikey and Chicko became rivals, and Spikey would always try to bring up the whole, but Spikey's a Sonic parody, when in reality he's technically Mario. So later on the line, but then sadly the Spikey show got canceled. Not really, I'm not being sarcastic. This was an actual sad day for me, but it was definitely a good day for Imagitunes. That means because the show was yes slowing down, but it didn't die off entirely. It was like a roach; it could not die until, well, as you can see now, a few at the beginning of the month, or maybe at the end, I'm not sure. Maybe at the middle, I'm not sure. I wanted to take a monthly hiatus from the show as it was stressing me out. But as you can tell, that hiatus had a short life because it's not because me making that show was inevitable. But then something happened. The friendship of Spikey and me ended. It was a sad day for everyone. It was a sad day for me. I'm not sure about Dario, but it was a sad day for Mia, AJ, and me in an extent. I didn't want to lose a good friend, but was one of my best friends. But later on the line, we made up. But what about Chicko and Spikey? Spikey, I'm not sure if the two are still friends or if they're enemies. It hasn't been confirmed yet by me or Spikey. Or Kyle. I'll probably after this video ask him. But yeah, that's basically the entire timeline of the beef between Chicko and Spikey and how to technically flipper-kip juggernauts kind of stripped their way out of existence. Well, one stripped its way out of existence. Everyone wanted to take a quick nap. But now, with Imagitunes back in action and a new Spikey cartoon was made, who knows? Maybe the two will be best friends once more. But until then, take care. Pizza Pretzel out. I know I took that from Alpha J. Don't patronize me!